Today, we are taking a look at something a little different. A set that blends architecture, mechanics and lighting into one build. This is the Prague Astronomical Clock, a detailed recreation of one of the most famous landmarks in the Czech Republic. So let's take a closer look. Huge thank you to Pantasy for sending this over. And starting with the minifigures, the set includes two, the astronomer and a student. The design is nicely done. Fantasy figures tend to be simple, but they work well here. As usual, they also come with seated versions, which is a great touch. You can simply swap the torso to pose them sitting down. Now, moving to the main build, my first impression is very strong. But let's take a closer look at each section and how it is executed. The base isn't the usual 32x32 plate. This one is closer to 22x32 studs. I really like the color scheme used for the pavement, which replicates the real-life walkway in front of the clock quite nicely. There are also two lampposts on either side, though as it is common with fantasy-style builds, there are no studs to attach minifigures, which is always a bit disappointing. Moving into the building, let's start with the front facade. At first glance, it does a great job of replicating the real structure. But let's look closer to see how accurate that really is. On the ground level, there is a small doorway that can actually be opened, with some decorative elements above it. On both sides you will find dark blue columns with elegant golden accents. Slightly higher up you will notice a golden wheel. If you are not familiar with the real clock, it might not be immediately clear what you are looking at. So here is a quick explanation. This isn't just a decorative wheel. It represents a calendar. Around its edges, the real version features a church calendar with fixed holidays and the names of 365 saints, which aren't included here. The main panel shows allegories of the months, the 12 images you can see, while smaller details should represent zodiac signs, but these do appear elsewhere in the set in a different form, which I will point out later. In the center, there is the medieval coat of arms of Prague. Flanking the calendar are two minifigures designed to resemble statues, a philosopher and the Archangel Michael, who should be pointed towards the top of the dial, along with an astronomer and a chronicler represented together. Below the calendar, you will find two golden cats, which feel a bit out of place to me, though they are still nice collectible elements. Similarly, the blue crab in the top left corner feels slightly odd in this context. Above this section, there is a blue balcony, and at the center sits the main highlight, the clock itself. This is a printed piece. Actually, all the elements here are printed, with no stickers, which is typical for fantasy sets. There's no detailed explanation included for how the clock works, and it's quite complex, so it's something you may want to explore separately. Surrounding the clock are more golden decorative elements, along with additional minifigures representing statues. On one side, you have Vanity and the Miser, and on the other, Death and the Turk. At the very top, there is an angel, and behind it are two small windows. While these would traditionally display the 12 apostles, the set instead includes 12 zodiac signs. Only 6 are visible at the time, with the other 6 provided as swappable pieces, so you can choose which one you display. Above the angel, there's a golden rooster element with a shiny chrome finish, followed by nicely detailed roof work, including frog-shaped gargoyles. Both sides of the building are identical, featuring rows of windows with attractive decorative framing, along with a small clock detail, though unfortunately it doesn't move. Around the back, things are less exciting visually, but it doesn't bother me much. This section does open up, but only partially. The ground floor isn't accessible from here, but we will get to that in a moment. There's also a small opening that hints at something more, and if you look from the top, you can spot a large cupola, similar to the one seen in the last year's opera set. You may also notice some visible wiring, which gives it away. The set is fully electrical. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what it can actually do. It is powered via USB-C box and comes with a cable, though you will need to provide your own plug, or you can simply use a power bank. Once you turn it on, the entire set lights up and starts moving. The calendar rotates, the clock comes to life, and the zodiac signs shift as well. In full lighting, the effect isn't that impressive. However, once I turn off my studio lights, the whole display transforms. It looks fantastic in the dark. This is my first powered set with built-in lighting, so I was especially excited to put it together, and honestly, I can't stop looking at it. Let me know what you think of it. Now let's turn the lights back on and continue the journey. As mentioned earlier, the back part can be opened, but that's not all. You can also remove the roof and lift off the two upper floors to access the interior. Just be extra careful when taking this section apart, as the connections can be a bit delicate. So now let's explore the interior. The ground floor is where the set really shines. It's fully furnished with a tiled floor and plenty of thoughtful detail throughout. In one corner, there's a rolled scroll and a small planet piece that looks like Saturn. Nearby, you have got a table with a map and a magnifying glass, and next to that stands a large bookshelf, simple but effective. All of the furniture is removable as well, since it's placed inside after the walls are built. By the door, there's a small cabinet with drawers, topped with a few chemistry-style bottles, along with a light element and a decorative sign or poster featuring gold chrome accents. The real highlight on this floor though is the centerpiece, the planetarium feature. It looks fantastic and honestly makes up for the fact that this level doesn't open up very much. Even the tiled floor is impressive. The pattern almost creates an optical illusion. I also appreciate the effort to hide the wiring as much as possible. It's not perfect, but considering how many lights and moving parts are involved, it's understandable. As for the upper two floors, the main drawback is that the gear mechanism takes up most of the space. Because of that, the interior is quite minimal. You are really just getting a staircase and a telescope. That said, I don't mind too much, since I usually display my sets from the outside rather than exploring the interiors. At the top level, you will find the rotating zodiac signs, and above that sits a cupola with a gold chandelier in the center. This section can be a bit tricky to assemble. Pressing the blue pieces into place while keeping the chandelier intact requires a bit of patience. The official name of this set is the Prague Astronomical Clock, set number 85045. It is priced at around $130 American dollars or 130 euros and comes with 2,441 pieces and 2 minifigures. If you are interested, you can find the link in the description and comments along with my discount code for Amazon US and Amazon Deutschland. Inside the box, you get 2 instruction manuals. They are easy to follow overall, but there's one thing I feel is missing. Since the build is based on a real landmark, it would have been great to include a few introductory pages covering the clock's history, symbolism, and significance. As it stands, Pantasy doesn't really explain any of that, which feels like a missed opportunity, especially given how rich the subject matter is. There are quite a few steps throughout the build dedicated to checking the lightning. To be honest, I didn't test mine, but everything still worked fine in the end. All of the electrical components come packed in separate bags, which helps keep things organized. Quick question for you. Do you enjoy lightning features in sets, or do you prefer everything to be purely brick built? As for the build itself, it is a mix of traditional modular style approach combined with more technique-focused sections, especially when assembling the clock mechanism. It might look complex, but it is not overly difficult. In total, it took me around 6 hours to complete, mainly because managing and hiding the wiring takes extra time, along with connecting everything properly. The electrical components can be a bit fiddly though, so if you have larger fingers, it might be slightly frustrating at times. Overall though, I have to say I really enjoyed the build. To sum it up, the Prague Astronomical Clock set is a truly unique display piece. It's not without its flaws. The upper floor interiors are quite limited, and a few design choices may feel slightly out of place, but where this set excels, it really stands out. The exterior detailing combined with the moving features and especially the lighting creates something that feels quite different from your typical build. For me, this is very much a display first set rather than a play focused one, and once the lights go down, it really comes to life. I'm also really glad Pantasy sent this over for review. If you found this review helpful, feel free to give the video a like or subscribe for more in-depth reviews, build breakdowns, and previews of upcoming sets. Your support genuinely helps the channel grow and keeps content like this coming. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments. I always enjoy reading them. And until next time, happy building!